This was the most shocking issue of the series so far. I couldn't believe it. I still don't believe the death that happened in this issue. I'm not going to believe it until the end of the arc. But this was still shocking, and it really does change a lot of things for the status quo of Gotham. But we start off with Absolute Scarecrow's, like, kind of if an introduction of him out here actually being a scarecrow, which is kind of funny. But I think his power is more than just the fear toxin that he usually uses. I think it involves these crows somehow because I noticed that they're very heavily used in every shot whenever he's doing something. Also, I'm not sure what I'm just gonna say this because I'm not sure what's going on here because I stared at it for a long time. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but I'm not sure if that has anything to do with his power. I'm just going to say that out there in case it comes back. But like I said, you see the crows are very heavily involved with Absolute Scarecrow. As we see, he ends up getting this guy to kind of like, as you can see, he runs him over with a tractor, and you can't tell. I think it's based on real things that happen, and he just amplifies their aggression. I think that's what's going on here. It's really hard to tell, but this issue is called the Straw Man, and it's just a really good introduction to Scarecrow. It's hard to say what his powers are, but like I said, I think it's the crows. And then we cut back to Absolute Batman. I've been wondering how he's evolved since last issue, and Alfred fills us in, telling us that he's just been nothing but all Batman, just all the time. See, no friends, no distractions, nothing but Batman. And as you can see, he's being Batman even in the daylight, which is insane. And this Batmobile that he's driving reminds me a lot from the one from the Christopher Nolan movies, the ones that he drives around and it rotates. Because this one does the same thing as here he is even flipping around. They don't really have a name for it yet, but here we see that Absolute Batman is now working with Harley and the Red Hoods as they help him get away from the cops. And we see how far that Bruce is going down this path alone. And Wayland comes back, but we see that he's looking a little more crocodile now with his skin, so he's not fully healed like we saw in last issue, but he's coming back. But even though he's back, Bruce still turns the other way and leaves because he doesn't want to, have them go through this anymore. Because like they all decided to join, and everyone got kind of like turned into these creatures. Wayland doesn't know about Two Face or Penguin yet, and we get some more flashbacks of stuff that happened with issue 14. But we actually see that. Check it out, they got a bat signal now. But Joker has returned to Gotham to play up the part more, and he's obviously here to make some moves. And this is the big moment where he gets the call from Gordon, and they end up meeting on the rooftop. And we see Gordon's already pretty paranoid, as something's really off with Gordon. It's hard to tell. I think he's already been infected with whatever Scarecrow's power is, or what. It's hard to say what his deal is because I haven't seen him really use a fear toxin, just like crows. But Gordon's really upset about something, and he tells Bruce that he discovered something. As you can see, that Gordon is really freaked out over this, and he even kind of loses track of what he was saying, as he's telling him that he feels more lost, and he feels like he's actually lost in a corn maze, and he doesn't know if he should show him. And then Bruce actually tells him, he's like, "You should show me," and that's when he says, "Show you what?" Like, it's really weird that he kind of forgot what he was talking about. Gordon's just acting really weird in this part, and he pulls out this file called Project Batman, and he ends up getting freaked out by this crow that they're watching. And like I said, it really has to be something with the crows, as he ends up burning the file and leaving it there. But Gordon ends up burning himself too. Like I said, Gordon's acting really, really odd, and he ends up freaking out because the crows just keep like cawing at him, and he really doesn't want him to see these files. And as Bruce picks up one of the files, he sees something that mentions the zoo, And this word kind of looks like manipulation. So I kind of think that maybe Joker, like he created Batman, like he knew what was going to happen, and discovering this secret seems to have driven Gordon really crazy with fear, and he ends up jumping off the ledge like voluntarily because of the crows are attacking him. And Batman reaches out and he grabs him, or and right here he starts pulling him up and saying, "I have you." That's when you get the reveal that he actually fell through his jacket. And this, like I said, this is the part where I couldn't believe what just happened. I still kind of don't believe it, but it's hard to believe. I don't know how you can fake this. And everyone sees this, and they immediately say that Batman killed him, as Batman's kind of coming to the slow realization that a lot of people were watching, and a lot of people saw that. And as he's looking around, he sees in one window that someone lights up, and there he is just waving at him. That's a cool little meeting, or like for them for the first time seeing each other. And now this changes everything how Gotham sees Batman, of course. And there's even more interesting things here. As we get the reveal that Slade Wilson is the one who's training up the Robins, and we see what his body's kind of like, as it's pretty much in pieces, but he's probably really enhanced. Deathstroke actually made his first appearance in Absolute Batman Arc M. So we've seen what he looked like all costume up, but this is the first time we've seen him out of it. And he mentions, like I said, how he personally trained all of them. And I think this is really cool how Joker made them Robins, and I think Batman is going to turn them into Red Hood, which is kind of a cool turnaround. But like I said, this issue really did change a lot of the status quo of what's going on in Gotham. Now that Slade Wilson is here as well, that means Batman's going to have to fight Deathstroke and Joker at some point, which is like there's a lot that Absolute Batman's going to have to fight later on. That's pretty insane. This death right here, it's hard to say if it's going to stick or not. I have a feeling like it might. I kind of see them sticking with Jim Gordon's death, because I'll be honest, at this point in the story, I don't really see why we would need him anymore, because I kind of see Barbara coming into that role herself, because they're definitely building her up to something, and I think his time in the story might be over. It's really hard to say, but this was an amazing issue of Absolute Batman. I really liked it a lot. I can't wait to see the Robins in issue 20. But man, this series has been getting really good. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Laters.